Welcome to Life in Times of Cato. I am your host, Jay Cato. In today's segment, I want to discuss something that I saw not to, it was a funny post that I saw on my social media. And it actually, I also had a conversation with someone about, yesterday about, marriage and the institution of marriage. And anyway, one of the posts that I saw it said something like, you have to imagine a time that we used to actually travel in with paper maps, MapQuest, like fucking pirates, to get to your destination, right? Um, so that was as hilarious as that was, because nobody does that shit anymore. But it's true. You're traveling like fucking pirates, right? And then I had a conversation with, and I'm going to talk about the correlation in a second. But I did have had a conversation with a friend of mine, and they were like, basically, there's a specific marriage, there's a specific magic that you have in your marriage. You also very lucky. And as much as I wanted to disagree with some of that, the luck portion of it, and the magic is real. That's a real thing. Like, you either have magic with somebody or you don't. And that's a very honest answer, right? And that's something that I'm not going to dispute. Lucky, though, was the one thing that I didn't necessarily quite want to agree with. And for the most part, I still don't, but there is validity to that. But in any event, back to my original statement of what I was talking about, if you look at life and how you navigate life, right, it's kind of like that, right? Somebody gives you like this half-ass kind of way of navigating life. And I'm not going to get, I don't want people to get too deep into what I'm saying. I want to have just like this little picture so we can kind of talk about this, or listen to what I'm saying. I don't want to get too theologically into it, because you can, but just hear out what I'm saying. So you get this kind of basic way of navigating life, and you have your parents who teach you things and talk to you and try to prepare you for the best that you can, right? So you kind of got this map, right? And like a pirate, like you're fucking like a fucking pirate, you're sailing the high goddamn seas, hopefully with some direction as to what it is that you want to do, right? So you get to places like the ports of Tortuga. Like, if you're a fucking Pirates of the Caribbean, however you want to say it, if you're a fan of that, you know what I'm talking about, right? So you could get to these places, and there's all kinds of different things, right? You got hoes, you got thugs, you got pimps, you got all these kind of bad elements, and you have these good elements, and you have all these phenomenal things that you run into, right? And you keep navigating life, going to places like this place, like the place of port, like the port of Tortuga, or whatever it is, right? So you constantly are traveling and sailing the high goddamn seas, man, and landing in these different places that have these different experiences. And yes, man, having that map, there is an X, an X marks the spot. That's your goal. That's where you're fucking going. You're trying to get there, you know. Um, and you have this map and you're trying to get there. But you got to remember, the seas is so big, the world is so big, So yes, man, sometimes there's that magic, right? Sometimes there's that fucking magic. You might find that mermaid and you're like, holy shit, this is amazing, right? Or sometimes you might really find that kraken, if you know what I'm saying, right? You'll you know where I'm going with that. But you'll have that magic where you find that mermaid and you're just like, man, this is a beautiful thing, you know, these beautiful experiences. But to her point, every so often, man, you might get lucky and you might hit that X that marks the spot. You might find that treasure, that gold, that specific what you're looking for and what life is about, and I, for the most part, like in agreement with what was said, was like, sometimes, man, there is that legitimate little bit of luck that you find that thing, whatever that is to you, whether it be your spouse, like my wife, whether it's you find the perfect career, whether you find, I don't know, doing something like this, for example, like whatever that is, you might find that one thing, and there is that little bit of luck, man, that little bit of luck, along with that marriage. But the one thing, the dopest part, and if you've never ever experienced any of that, and if you ever feel like, shit, I'm just sailing the high fucking seas, like, nah, man, like the experiences that you're having in life, that's a fucking adventure. and you cannot, you know, send that, and it can't be looked at as something that's not tangible. That's life, man. You're experiencing life. You're experiencing life that, you know, in a way that nobody else ever has, and that's fucking quality. That's quality. So even if you've never seen that, if you've never gotten that magic, if you've never gotten lucky, you've got life experiences, man. You know, you sailed the high seas, and you've traveled and seen more ports of Tortuga than anybody's business, and there's nothing that anybody could say to you about that. You know, that's a wonderful experience, and you've experienced life on its every aspect, on every level, meeting everything that that is meaningful to you. You know, um, you know, that's all I got. That's what I wanted to say. I had, you know, this little something I wanted to get off my chest. You know, I did have that conversation with that person, and I did remember that quote about traveling like fucking pirates with MapQuest, and I kind of felt like those two correlated a little bit. And even if they don't, I made them correlate because goddamn, man, if we traveling like pirates through life, shit, life's fucking exciting. Do what you do it well, do it the best way you know how. I'm Jay Cotto, and I'm out.